to another Social Web Cafe interview. Today we have Cheryl Brown from Cheryl Brown Art. Cheryl, so glad to have you here.
Hey Deb, good to be with you.
Let's start out by learning a little bit about Cheryl Brown and who you are.
Okay. The first time I ever found a stray can of paint and something to, put it on with, I started using it and decorating my reading books and my tricycle, and so that goes back to age 3 actually.
Now, Cheryl, you have experience in several different areas. There are several different facets to Cheryl Brown, and one of them is your expertise in counseling.
Yep.
Now, how does that play into your art?
Well, the way that those there's an overlay through everything I do, and that would be that I really am about healing. And so in my therapy practice, I'm about healing relationships. And in my art, there's a healing theme there as well.
That's beautiful. So it sounds like art is somewhat the expression of that inner core of healing, that desire to help people. Yeah,
that really goes deep.
So at what point, you said you started art when you were 3.
Yeah, well, who knows if it was even before that. I'm really one to love color. In fact, what I do is I call color my non-guilty addiction. And I started picking the little colored glass chips off the stucco on our house when I was, 2 or 3 years old, and collecting color in effect. So color is sort of the thing that runs through also, as well as healing.
And I noticed that you have some of your wearable art, as you call it, behind you.
Yes.
Want to tell us a little bit about those pieces?
Yes, I'm very excited about this. It's brand new, that I have been, now printing my paintings on silk. And I've got signatures on them. In fact, you can see a signature on this one right here. And that's printed right into the design. So any image that people see, if they fall in love with it and they want to see it in a silk scarf, they should just feel free to ask me, and I'll create a design with that image.
Now, didn't you have an art piece that recently won an award?
I do, and that is right behind me, this one, Firecracker Love. It's a riot of diverse colors, and the city of Sammamish had an awesome yearly event called the Sammy Awards. It's Sammamish acknowledging memorable moments, and for that they asked artists to join a contest and enter one of their paintings. So I entered Firecracker Love, and I was happy enough just to get in the contest, but I also got chosen for the 10 runners-up and then actually placed first for Firecracker Love.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So then after you won the award, you decided to make wearable art out of the Firecracker Love?
Actually, it goes back way farther than that. A decade, actually. I've had the idea to make scarves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, and finally it's been birthed, right? So I had plans to make silk scarves from a long time ago, and one of my friends in particular saw a painting that I did in 2000, and she goes, "Oh, that would be a great scarf." And that's probably when the idea was born. And then, of course, when Firecracker Love won first place, it seemed like that would be a great one to start. And that was the first one that made it to scarf form.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, for other people that are thinking something along the same lines as what you've done, you've taken your love of art, your love of healing, and actually turned that into a product that people could purchase. What would you say are some of the biggest challenges? Getting kind of from point A to point B.
The challenges. Sometimes the challenge is filtering out all the extra ideas so that there's just one focus, because the sky's the limit. There's no end of ideas and different kinds. So a challenge is always to find a focus and pick one and make it simple enough so that the follow-through actually happens. And of course, financing it can be a challenge, but you make a way,
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Yes. So sort of distilling it down to that singular path that you follow. That was probably one of the more challenging things as it relates to the product production.
Well, because, for example, one of my ideas is to make complete garments, and there are scarves that are big enough to be a shawl, and some scarves and shawls are big enough to be like a sarong. So those are all on one rectangular piece, makes it quite simple for production. But anytime that you want to cut a pattern, then that will be more complicated. And I'd love to do that too. That would be further down the line. So, yeah.
So where do you market the scarves?
Right now I've started by marketing them on a number of ways. One is online through Facebook and my website. The other way that I've been marketing is locally at art shows. In fact, earlier in October, I did 4 art shows in an 8-day span, which is probably a real record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you were saying when you were done?
Well, I think I was ready to just completely be quiet for a while and stretch out and do nothing for a while. Yeah.
Now, what are your plans in the next few weeks? Do you have any more art shows coming up?
There's probably a few opportunities there, getting different products in front of people. In the meantime, I'm going to be designing some new ones. Right now I have about a dozen designs created from 6 different paintings. And of course, I'm already bored with those, and I'm ready to jump in and grab several new paintings. In fact, one that's really on the top of my mind is called Rose Rain, and it's a raspberry fuchsia with sort of a white streaking through it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And that will be really awesome.
So Cheryl, where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Probably Sheryl Brown International.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Yeah. So you're Sheryl Brown, the healer on the level of the science and the art, as well as international diva of wearable fashion.
Yeah. In fact, it's already international. The first 5 that got ordered, one went to UK, one went to Canada, and a couple of them locally on the West Coast.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, do these people find you?
Some of them have been friends through different ways, and some I met on Facebook and became friends in person.
So you do a lot of networking online.
I do.
How many hours a day do you spend?
It varies. On a day where I'm really soaked into it and saturated, I might spend, a couple of hours and contact all different people, catch up with all the news, share different tidbits of good articles and what have you, or cool images. But not every day. Some days I'm offline.
And how do you find time for Cheryl with all the art shows, with all the painting, with all the product development, with all the networking?
I just do. I just make it a point. And, sometimes our energy level makes us aware, now it's time to kind of slow down a bit. And sometimes trips can help, going to a sunny place, getting a massage. Those are all great ways. And I'll tell you what, when I paint, normally I'm not talking. Once I did, and that was kind of fun. But that's a real good Cheryl time, is just alone painting. And of course, alone meaning my husband might be reading in the background, and I'm totally, blissed out with my paint.
And that's beautiful that you're able to actually create the art that you use for the product and still get Cheryl time.
Well, yeah, it gets to be one and the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you put on an art show where you actually taught people how to paint.
Yes, that's right. That one I did this previous May, and I brought over 100 paintings, originals, to the local Hilton Hotel, Hilton Garden Inn in Issaquah, Washington. And the room was perfect because it had some natural light. And then the hotel staff put tables around 3 sides, and I was able to prop the paintings, sometimes 2 or 3 deep. And then we had a number of people in getting a one-on-one lesson. And then I made a mosaic of their images and mine, and that you can find online too.
And is that on your CherylBrownArt.com?
Yeah, and Facebook.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Cheryl, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and hear about your art.
Well, my pleasure.
We look forward to Cheryl Brown Art International.
Yeah.
Less than 10 years away.
I always love talking with you, Deb.
Thank you.
All right, bye for now.